Hi, today I'm going to show you how to make some spiced churnas. Churnas have been used in Ayurveda for centuries for various medicinal purposes. And actually churna is just the Sanskrit word for powder. Now the churnas we're going to make today are for our digestion, and they're going to be specific for each of the doshas. And I've also decided to add just a pinch of caraway seed and salt to each of the recipes so that they contain all 6 tastes. The 6 tastes are very important in Ayurveda, and this way it's very simple to just sprinkle these churnas on your food, on your vegetables or meat, and get all 6 tastes in a very simple way. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to roast the fennel seeds. And for the pitta and the kapha churna, we want to roast fennel, and then we're going to grind these for the churna. So this is very easy. You just preheat your cast iron skillet, and you just put in your seeds and just do a little bit of dry roasting. So you don't put anything in the pan. And just stir these around until they get a little bit brown, and then set them aside to cool. Now, we won't need to roast all of the seeds that we're going to grind for the churna, but by roasting the fennel and then the cumin seeds, they'll actually increase the digestive effect for pitta and kapha. And here's the cumin seeds roasting, and you want to make sure that you roast your seeds separately. So we just did the fennel seeds, and now we're roasting the cumin seeds in the same way. Now, buying seeds whole and then grinding them yourself is a great way to have fresh spices on hand at all times. And all you need for that is just a coffee grinder. And, so here we have our toasted fennel and cumin, and I'm going to go ahead and grind those for our churna mix. Okay, so there's the fennel seeds in the coffee grinder. And here is the ground fennel. Oh, it smells marvelous. Now it's handy to have a little pastry brush to help get the ground spices out of the coffee grinder. Make sure that you get all of those good spices out, and so then your coffee grinder is ready for the next spice. Okay, so now here we are. We have all the spices together that I'm going to use to make the pitta churna. So we have coriander. We're going to use 1 teaspoon of coriander powder, 1 teaspoon of fennel seed powder, 1 teaspoon of cumin, and then there in the middle we're going to add a ½ teaspoon of dillweed, a pinch of turmeric, and then I'm also going to add a pinch of caraway seed powder just to get that sour taste, so that this way not only will this be a good digestive churna, but it will get all 6 tastes when we use this on our food. Okay, so here we have all of our ingredients in the bowl for the pitta churna, and I've also added just a pinch of salt because that also is part of the 6 tastes in Ayurveda. Okay, so here we go. We're just going to stir all those spices together, get them mixed up really, really nicely. And then we'll just put them in a jar, or I like to recycle my spice jars so that I have something already prepared to sprinkle them on my food. And the aroma is just wonderful when you freshly grind your spices. Okay, and now we've put together all the spices that we're going to need for the kapha churna. And the kapha churna will have a teaspoon of turmeric, a tablespoon of dried ginger, a ½ teaspoon of mustard seeds ground, 1 teaspoon of anise seed powder, a teaspoon of fennel seeds toasted and ground, and then just a pinch of cayenne, cardamom, and pipali powder, which is long pepper, and you can find that in most herb or Indian grocery stores. And then once again, I'm also going to add a pinch of caraway seed and a pinch of salt. And as you can see, the kapha churna is very spicy. It has a lot of really pungent and aromatic spices, and that's to help kaphas with their slow digestion and with symptoms of congestion that usually accompany kapha dosha especially during the late winter and early spring. Here we have the ingredients for our vata churna. And to make this formula, you will need a 1/4 teaspoon of cardamom, a teaspoon of cumin powder, a 1/2 teaspoon of dried ginger, a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/8 teaspoon of cloves, a 1/4 teaspoon of mustard seeds ground, and just a pinch of either pipali or black pepper. Vata churna is a very salty formula because salt is an important taste for vatas. But please note that if you use this on your food daily, you won't need to add other salt to your food. And if you have high blood pressure, regular use of this churna is not recommended. And these are very warming spices, which are very good for vata, which needs that warmth. And here we have our finished product, our 3 churnas, our vata churna, our pitta churna, and our kapha churna. And as you can see, the recipes don't make a large amount of the churna, so you can double, triple the recipes if you need to make more so you don't have to make them so often. So thank you for joining me today in making these churnas. And if you have any questions, please email me at karen.wheeler@live-ayurveda.com.